a video earlier this year claiming that I was going to be sticking to a fabric budget, and at that video I was slightly over budget. Well, it is the 7th of June and I have well and truly blown the budget and blown right past it. I do have a plan to make it up and claw back some kind of sanity, but I thought you guys would be interested in seeing what fabrics I have purchased and added to the, I was going to say ever increasing stash, but there is a destash happening as well, so fingers crossed I have got just as much going out as I have coming in. The destash will be up on my website very soon. Fingers crossed there's some things that interest you guys which will help me pay for what I have here. The pile is giant. So first up, technically these are birthday presents from mum and dad, so I didn't spend money on these, mum and dad did. I have this absolutely stunning viscose, which is a kind of hydrangea print. It's got obviously yellow, green and blue petals all over it on a peachy background. This is from Lamazi, and the minute it came up I was obsessed with it, and I had a tab on my computer holding it open watching the stock level go down and down and down, and when the stock level got to 5 meters or 5.5 meters, no, 5 meters, when the stock level got to 5 meters I purchased, because I knew this would be one of those fabrics that I would regret if I didn't get myself some. So I have 5 meters of this viscose. They called it Watercolor Spring Blossoms and I absolutely love it. It does look quite muted, but I think the colors in it are quite vibrant, and I have quite a lot of solid pieces that will go really well with this and make it just a little bit more of a vibrant outfit. So I'm really pleased with this one, and thank you mum and dad for the first part of my birthday present. I think I am going to end up putting them over here. The next one was also from Lamazi Fabrics. This is one that they've had in stock for quite a while. When I was purchasing this one, the price didn't quite go over the free shipping threshold, so I added another 5 meters to the cart, and I definitely got over the £75 threshold. This is called Vibrant Blooms and it's a viscose satin. This is just absolutely stunning. I love all these bright vibrant colors. I think it's gorgeous. I do think it's still in stock, so I will link to it in the description down below if I can. It feels beautiful. It feels really stunning. So this one was a little pricier, but I'm really glad that I got it, or mum and dad got it for me for my birthday, so thank you very much mum and dad for my lovely present. And I ordered that all the way back on the 29th of March because, as I say, that first one came up and I was determined to have some, so that's why that one got ordered on that date so far in advance of my birthday, but it was my birthday present, so thank you again mum and dad. I have 3 more orders, but they were all for retreat fabrics, so the Mora leathers, and then also some bag making fabrics for the Shanklin Sewing Club. So technically those were all customer orders, so whilst it was fabric coming into the sewing room, it wasn't fabric for me, so I am not going to show you and I'm not going to class that as money being spent against my budget. And I think that's reasonable. So next up was my Pound Fabrics fabric order, and I wanted a bunch of solid coloured French terries, one of which I am wearing now. This is the royal blue. I will link to their French terry in the description down below. I'm gonna have to look at my diary to make sure that I give you the right quantities of each one. I got 3 meters of this royal blue, I got 2 meters of coral, I got 2 meters of ivory, I got 1 meter of yellow, I got 1 meter of purple, 1 meter of Tiffany blue and 1 meter of orange. Out of those colours, the only ones that I have left are the Tiffany blue and the orange, and they will be getting used up this month. The rest of them I have made up into different garments that you will be seeing very soon. Basically the tagline for that video is going to be the 80s called and they want their shell suits back, although this time it's all French terry, so cotton fabric, not polyester. But yes, it's all kind of come out very 80s-tastic, including this dress, which is the 8 something from Grasser Patterns. I'll link to it in the description down below. I love how all the pieces have turned out. Last year I made up a bunch of French terry, like basically sophisticated comfies is what I was after, and I did it all in a tan and very muted prints, and whilst they were lovely, they weren't me. They weren't perfect for me, so I've ended up donating all of those pieces. I did keep the brown jogging bottoms, but the rest of it got donated. I have replaced it all, this time with bright in-your-face colours, and like I say, it looks like the 80s threw up on me, but I love it, and you will be seeing those ones very soon. In that order, I also got 5 meters of this, they've called it Garden Breeze, and it's a bamboo silkette. So it's 100% natural fibers, and it's the same kind of fibre as the marble print that you saw in the last fabric haul that I got from Stitch Fabrics. At the time I didn't realise that, but I love that marble print fabric so much. When I saw this print, I just loved the vibrant colours on it. They've got it in a different colourway, which I think both of these are still available, so I will link to it just down below. I am really pleased with this. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it, but it is a super lightweight fabric, and it's also really flowy like viscose, so I think it's going to be some kind of billowy summery dress. It's really pretty, I love it, and like I say, there is another colorway, so yeah. I'll link to it down below. You'll have to let me know what you think. And then another piece that I got from Pound Fabrics was this. I think this is going to go really well in with this collection because it's all based around orange, purples and ivories and blues. Obviously this fabric has all of them. I have 6 meters of this one. The viscoses that are available at Pound Fabrics are all very inexpensive and really good quality for the amount that you pay for them. So I tend to order a little bit more so that I can have some fabric to experiment with. I don't know what I want to do with this yet. I'm thinking a wrap dress with lots of frills and ruffles because I really like those. Although I have made a lot of the Butterick dress, so perhaps one of my other ruffly wrap dresses that I haven't yet tried from my pattern stash could be a good idea. I think it's gorgeous. They do this in 2 other colorways, and I really want the greeny turquoisey one as well. It's been calling my name, so yeah, I might have to go back and get a bit of that because it's really pretty. I like the idea of possibly intertwining it with this colorway, so same print, different colors, like for the Trend Patterns t-shirt dress. I really want to try that dress, but it's got to be the right fabric combo to stand out and show the interesting style lines, but also be something that I would then want to wear. Yeah, I love this one. Not sure what I'm going to make with it yet, but I'm really happy that I've got it. And technically this is wearable muslin fodder for the 2 more expensive viscoses that I've got down here. The last thing from Pound Fabrics is another meter of this butterfly tapestry. I have made my book tote from this and I absolutely love it. 2 of the ladies from the Shanklin Sewing Club love it as well, so they have also cut out book totes from this fabric, which means that I'm basically replacing the fabric that I had in my stash because I do want to make a laptop sleeve and a handbag out of this. So technically somebody else paid for this one. Technically. That was the last of the Pound Fabric order, which came to a total of £197.19 and was made on the 30th of April. So there was a decent chunk of time between that last order and this one. A good month. Although the budget, again, completely blown out of the water. For my birthday, my lovely brother and sister-in-law gave me a Sherwoods gift voucher, and Sherwoods were also doing a mega sale. I think it was 40% off of everything. There was no restrictions and no specific section of that sale, like because there's more sale fabric from Sherwoods coming up in a second. So of course I had gift voucher, I had sale, so I went shopping. This was on the 3rd of May and I bought quite a lot. The first one is this viscose. It's called Bengal Elise and I absolutely love this. Some of you will remember when we very first moved into the new house, and some of the first things that I made in the studio were a Vogue dress and an attempt at the tie front shirt from a similar-ish viscose to this. Whilst neither of those things have survived because the dress wasn't right for me and the shirt just wasn't right for me either, it was a first muslin, I ended up loving the fabric on me, and I've been on the lookout for a leopard, or yeah, this is leopard. This is not cheetah, leopard print on blue ever since, and I love this one. I have pinned this shirt dress on Pinterest and I think that this is absolutely gorgeous and is something I'm considering making with this. I do tend to wear shirt dresses quite a lot, so I think it would be something that is a successful make, and it would be really fun to try and recreate the Pinterest look as well. Really pleased with this. 5 meters, viscose challis. absolutely gorgeous. They do have more of this, although it's not in their current sale. I will link to it in the description down below. Something I do frequently is have a look at the new in prints from Lady McElroy, and I have a note on my phone of all the prints that I absolutely love, because I'm pretty good at remembering the names of the ones that I've used, but the ones that I love the look of but haven't bought yet tend to kind of slip out of the brain. You know, you do have some fabrics like that first one that will haunt you if you don't buy them, but sometimes it's nice to keep a running note of the different prints that Lady McElroy have available, because there are a lot. One of them was this one. It's called Rio Shades, and I have 5 meters of it on a viscose base, and it is absolutely glorious. It is incredibly bright and over the top, but as you guys know, I am much preferring wearing super bright colors and loud prints. So 5 meters of this. I don't know what it's going to be. Possibly a Dirindo Magnolia dress with a contrast waistband and sleeves, and maybe even, I was going to say a tiered and gathered skirt, but I don't know that would work. Well, no, they do look nice in viscose because I've done that a few times, but you bet they look better with a petticoat underneath them, although I do want to alter my petticoat, so that could be a good project to make me actually do that alteration, because I have done a full video about all the alterations I want to do this year, and have I done one yet? No, I have not. So yeah, I think maybe something like the Dirindo Magnolia. This is epic. I love it, and I'm really looking forward to making it up and wearing it out. So those two were technically full price, but they, as I say, it was a 40% off sale. The next two prints that I have to show you I bought in the Remnant section. I don't regret this one. This is Chinatown, and it's on the cotton lawn base. I got 2 remnants, so that I have ended up with 5 meters or just under 5 meters of this cotton lawn. They do this on a viscose as well, but there weren't any remnants of viscose, and I just didn't pay attention, and I've ended up, as I say, with cotton lawn. I think I would have preferred this on a viscose base, but I still absolutely love this print. I have seen quite a few people make it up into lots of different types of garments, and I think it's absolutely gorgeous. I am in love with this one. I will be making this one up soon, and again, I love the bright colors, and it's not a floral or a leafy print, so something different. In fact, there's only one that's floral and leafy out of this part of the Lady McElroy splurge, so yes, I like this one a lot. So this last one, I'm afraid I bought the last 2 remnants in this colorway, but they do have it on a black background. It's called Paradise Dawn, and it's a viscose challis. Now on their website it did look a lot more ivory, although it did describe the base tone as biscuit, and it is biscuit when it's arrived. I was a little disappointed because I would have preferred this on a brighter ivory background, but the print is beautiful. I have a plan for this. This is going to be a Vogue 9007. I haven't made one of those for ages, and the 2 that I have made, Mum has both of them. One of the reasons is because you really do have to wear that dress buttoned up all the way to the top. I found this company called Fern and Wren on, I think it was on TikTok, and then discovered their shop on Etsy. They do button covers, and I have bought myself a set of 6 of these button covers. They are absolutely beautiful. Fern and Wren is a really new business. It's a woman-owned business, and she is trying to make your existing clothing more sustainable for you, which I think is awesome. When I saw these kind of poppy button covers, I immediately thought of this fabric and the 9077 pattern. I want to make that pattern now because I will wear it buttoned up to the top, and I'm going to put one of those little poppies there. I'm going to have a cuff deep enough for 2 poppy buttons so it looks like cufflinks on here, and then the rest of the buttons are going to be self-covered buttons from the red of this petal. So it'll be teeny tiny little self-covered buttons the whole way down the front of the dress, and then I'll be able to wear it with that button cover at the neckline, and I think that's going to look absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to do my best to try and find some similar coloured red buttons for the cuffs and neck buttons so that it doesn't look super weird without the poppy on it. I think it's going to be absolutely gorgeous, and I do love that dress. It has some really interesting style lines. The skirt's gorgeous. I have done a sew along for it, and I do recommend it as a pattern. It will be nice to have one in colours that I love and that I would wear. So yes, I bought the last 2 remnants of this, so both of them were 3 meter remnants. remembrance, so I have 6 meters of this, so I will probably have enough for some kind of shirt, or if mum likes it she can have some for a shirt, although it does have purple in it and mum hates purple, so she might not want that. But that was my first Sherwood fabric order. They kept doing brilliant sales, so what's a girl to do? I mean, exercise some self-control would be like a really good thing for a girl to do, but I did not. Next up is the most expensive order that I have placed so far this year. I saw this particular fabric on Gina's channel from Gina Seams. She'd just been to the Stitch Festival and she showed this fabric on the Fabric Godmother stall, and I was absolutely smitten. It's giant scale cherry fabric. It's a viscose lame, and I bought 5 meters of it. This was expensive. It was £20 something per meter. As I say, I've bought 5 meters of it because I like giant dresses. This is a very large print, so I didn't want to not have enough fabric for whatever I wanted to do. Yeah, this is one of those ones that, again, I put it in my basket and was looking at it for ages. Then they were doing a 15% off discount for the Sew a Blouse month in April, so they'd extended it for the bank holiday weekend for the beginning of May, so I bought myself 5 meters of this, and it is beautiful and I have no regrets. It is going to be horrible to sew because it is slippery, shifty, but it's also going to look absolutely epic, and I love it, and I'm really pleased that I have it. So yeah, that one got ordered from Fabric Godmother. Again, if they have any left, I will link to it in the description down below. I think it might have thrown out the white balance on the camera as well. Hopefully that will reset itself. I also bought 5 meters of this gold lame. Words are hard. Oh, that's better. I'm not overexposed anymore. I promise it's the camera doing it, not me. But yeah, I bought 5 meters of this gold. I think it was 100% metallic fibers, so I don't think we can say that this is a natural fibre of any kind, but I liked the idea of some stiffness in this, and also the shiny gold, because this is sheer, so I thought having some of this to go underneath this could be a good way of maybe getting some structure into bits of the bodice and stuff, and maybe making the skirt a little floofier if I go for a full skirt, although in my head I have some other ideas. We shall see. But yeah, 5 meters of that. And whilst I was on Fabric Godmother, I had a look through the entire store, which I do tend to do every now and again for a majority of fabric shops that I love, and I came across this. More shiny stuff. This is a stretch faux leather, and it is a pink gold shift, and I absolutely love this. I bought 3.5 meters because I think I want to try and make some kind of a jacket with this, like a biker style jacket, and I definitely want a bag as well. If you've watched, you probably will have seen by now the waffle, which has got all of the stuff that I got from the different shops that we went to at the retreat. One of them was a lot of faux leathers in shiny metallics, and this is going to go really well with those. Yeah, it's gorgeous. I have 3.5 meters of it, so some kind of jacket and some kind of bag, possibly even a mini skirt, although whilst I love the idea of wearing mini skirts, I don't like the practicality or the way I look in mini skirts. I am currently wearing a dress that has got a mini skirt on it, so who knows? And I have worn this dress out in public and nobody laughed, so yeah, who knows? So that was my Fabric Godmother order. That was placed on the 7th of May, and that one cost me £184.82, and that was with a 15% off discount. As I say, they had one running for the April Sew a Blouse challenge, and they'd extended it over for the bank holiday weekend, which was amazing. So yes, really pleased I got those. I waited one whole day, and I follow a vet who is Blossom Sandwich and runs the Sew Fruity challenge, and she had put up some Somi Sunshine fabrics, and I fell into the shop and bought this viscose linen. I would have bought the lemon print at the same time, but they had sold out of it. It's okay, they brought it back into stock and I got some later. But yeah, I've got 5 meters. Oh, hello. for tacking my snake. I've got 5 meters of this orange print viscose linen. I'm not going to be using this one for the So Fruity challenge this month because I'm doing all things lemons, and you will have seen that in the June plans video, which will have been up before this one. I have the breaking strain of a Kit Kat, and I needed this. I needed this in my life. It's beautiful colours. I love the print. It's going to be some kind of a dress. 5 meters, probably next year's challenge though. I then had a break for about 2 weeks. My next order was on the 21st of May. Oh, that one was £57.05 by the way. Yes, the next one was on the 27th of May, and it was also from Somi Sunshine. They released a bunch of new prints and I absolutely fell head over heels for this one. It's called California Dreams and it's a cotton poplin, which usually I would not overly be interested in, but I couldn't leave this print behind. I love the colours in it. I think it's absolutely epic. It reminds me of a Zimmerman print. Yeah, I needed it, so I bought it. At the time, I also bought the viscose lemon print that they'd sold out of when I placed this order because they had a discount, a 10% off code, and that meant that this was under the £75 free shipping limit, so I had to like, yeah. I got another 5 meters of fabric so I could get free shipping. The logic is not logicking, I know this, but I absolutely love this. They do still have this in stock, so I will link to it down below. I want to make some kind of trouser and shirt set. Now I say trouser and shirt set with that kind of a face because in my head I love the idea of it. In reality I probably wouldn't wear that very often, so I'm thinking probably it's going to end up being a skirt and a shirt set, possibly even a strappy dress and a shirt set, so that way I have all bases covered. But I couldn't leave this behind. I absolutely love this one. It is gorgeous. I'm so pleased I have it. Yay. On the same day I was clearly having a lucky fabric day because Lamazi had more of this in stock. They had sent me out an email and this came up and I went and clicked on it and it said it was sold out, and I think it was Catherine that had bought the last of it, and I was gutted because this is one of those fabrics that again would have haunted me if I hadn't managed to get my hands on it. Yeah, I just happened to be looking through the new in section on Lamazi and they'd restocked it and they had enough for me to buy 5 meters, so I have 5 meters of this eucalyptus print, that's what they called it, and I absolutely love it. Now technically the background is probably a cooler sort of like grey tone than it is a warm ivory, but the red I think is a true red and the greens are definitely warm greens, so I'm really pleased. I'm really pleased with this. It's a viscose twill, so it's got some nice weight to it as well. I have no idea what this is going to be. I have 5 meters, so it could be anything. I'm just really pleased that I have it because I absolutely fell in love with it the minute I saw it and was gutted that it was sold out. So when I went back and there was some in stock, I immediately snapped it up. That was the 21st of May and it was £82.50. This was not an inexpensive print, but it's absolutely gorgeous. I'm so pleased I have it. Please don't fall over. And I thought I was done. I thought no more fabrics. You have well and truly gone over budget. You do not need any more fabric whatsoever. And then Sherwoods and Lady McElroy came out with their super summer sale. Their fabrics, as I say, are about £4 per metre at the moment, and there's some really pretty ones in the sale, so I will link to it in the description down below because it is, I think, still going on. If not, I will link to whatever prints they still have in stock. I actually went over to the wholesale side of things and the minimum wholesale order is 10 meters. At the time they hadn't done the extra 50% off of the sale prices that they now or currently have on all of the fabrics, so technically I didn't have to order as much as I did, but I'm really glad that I have got 10 meters of both of these because I love these prints. First up is this one and it's called Coral Daydream. Now I already have the other colorway of this in the darker background, so I've got the very dark pink there and then the very light pink here. I am going to play around with some color blocking with these two. There is a pattern from Gertie called the Starburst skirt. It was the first Patreon pattern that she ever released and I was a Patreon, still am, from day dot, so I have that pattern. I know it was exclusive, although I think she may have re-released it, but I want to do the Starburst skirt with this at the bottom and then that darker corally pinky reddy one at the waist towards towards the waist and then at the waist of the dress as well. I think that's going to look epic. Something else that I'm contemplating is possibly a Harlequin style shirt dress with this one and that one, because I have 10 meters of this, I have 5 meters of that, and I think I would have enough to do both of those projects with that distribution of fabric. I think I'm not 100% sold on the Harlequin dress side of things because I'm not sure that I'm going to love it, and whilst I have 10 meters of this and so I'm willing to experiment with it, I only have 5 of that and they don't do that one anymore. And I think this one is still in stock. I will, as I say, link to it down below if they still have some. I have 10 meters of this, including shipping and stuff. It ended up costing me about £5.50 per meter. So I'm classing this as also wearable muslin fodder. For as beautiful as it is, it's a really lovely quality cotton lawn to play around with for some other patterns that I want to try, but I'm not 100% sure I'm going to like. And then I'm a creature of habit. I have 10 meters of this one as well. This is the Bright Side of Life cotton lawn, Heidi cotton, I think it is, and it's on the black background. I would have bought 10 meters of the ivory, but they had sold out of that, so I got 6. I absolutely love this. Now I have made a dress from the 3 meters that I had of this previously, but that dress probably actually will fit me at the moment, but didn't fit me for quite a long time because it was when I was at my biggest. So I really like the idea that I have more of this fabric to play around with. Again, it's going to be wearable muslin fodder because of the price, but also I want to recreate something like the original dress but in a slightly smaller size when and if I ever get back down to that size again, so that I have a dress that I can wear at either end of the spectrum that I seem to fluctuate between. So yeah, I have 10 meters of this to add to the stash and I'm really pleased that I do. And like I say, I have the ivory as well, but you will have already seen that in the So Fruity June plans that I put up last week. So for 26 meters of fabric, it was £157 and 18 pence, and I placed that order on the 24th of May. And that's the last fabric that I've bought. I haven't looked at any fabric shops since. Technically I have looked at the Lamazi new in fabrics because they send me emails, same with Somi Sunshine, and I have been very tempted by some pineapple seersucker and a couple of the Lamazi exclusive prints that they do because they are all absolutely gorgeous. But I don't need any more fabric. I have a lot of fabric and I have well and truly blown through my budget. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, I do have a plan for that, and I have gone through and I have 2 giant piles that are bigger than this of fabrics that I am going to be destashing, and I'm going to be putting those up on my website very soon. So fingers crossed there are some things in there that you guys like so that you can take them off of my hands and make beautiful things with them, and I will have kind of like evened out the budget for the year so that possibly I can continue shopping for fabric, because we all know that I'm not going to be able to go 6 more months without buying anything. It's just not going to happen. So how is your fabric budgeting for the year going? Are you being much better behaved than I am, or have you been like me and bought all of the things? Let me know in the comments down below so that I don't feel quite so alone, and let me know what you think of the fabrics that I've picked. I am so happy with this pile here. I love that it's so bright and vibrant, and I love all the different bases. Theoretically there are some different styles of projects in there, and the really big chunk of fabrics, the French terries that I've bought, have already been cut up and used. That is something I'm trying to do this year, so as much lengths of fabric as I bring into the sewing room so that hopefully it kind of evens out. I'm keeping a tally of everything, and I will do a video at the end of the year letting you know how I did with that. But I would love to hear what you think of my selections and what I plan on doing with some of them, and if you have any ideas of what you think I should do with these fabrics, let me know in the comments section down below. If you've enjoyed this video, you might want to check out this one here.